Hello and welcome to another Hot Gates Gaming video, and this is our channel's very first attempt at a Guild Ball match report. I'm your host James, and today I'm going to be joined by Quinn Duggan. I understand that lots of you out there won't know the rules for Guild Ball, and to be fair, you're not that far off myself. I don't actually know a lot about this, but hopefully this will be part of a new series which I'm hoping to release, which is going to be called Abattoir Away Days. Now, for anybody who plays Guild Ball, that is a reference to the team which I field, which is called the Butchers. And remember, if you want to see regular battle reports of this kind of style, there were lots of different styles of battle reports out there, but if you want battle reports of this particular style, which I brought over from the GBHL podcast and the battle reports I filmed there, make sure you check out the video links below in the description, because of course that will tell you how you can support me making more content. So today it is going to be Butchers versus, who are you bringing, Quinn?
The Engineers.
Engineers. Now, we've played a couple of times. Last week we played and we played from about 6:30 until about 10:15. It must be the longest Guild Ball game in history. Now, hopefully that won't be the same tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to show you the two teams that we've got here tonight, and hopefully show off the models and try and have a little bit of a quicker game. So Quinn, the very best of luck.
Horrible luck to you.
Let's see if we can make this 3-0 to the Butchers. So this is our Guild Ball pitch for today, and first of all we're going to be showing you the Butchers team, all ready for the Scaldic Shield this weekend. So leading my Butchers team is of course my captain, which is the marvellous Ox. The advantage of Ox, he can really help the other members of the team really lay down the damage. He's a really good support character in that sense, but he's also got a really high attack value, so he can knock things down and kill them pretty well himself. Now, the big guy in this team is Boar. Absolutely love this model. Those of you that watch the GBHL podcast will have seen him feature in one of my hobby blogs. This is the guy who deals out the damage. He's the real heavy hitter. He gets to not only hit stuff, but he gets to hit it again and again and again, hopefully until they're smashed into a bloody pulp. Shortish kind of range, although he does have a longer kind of melee range, but very very effective character as long as he doesn't get tied down in the game. Next up, this is an absolute must for me in the team. This guy is Shank. He's probably he's probably the fastest player, really allows this team to play football, even though the Butchers are predominantly a combat orientated hitting team. He's got some really cool nifty special rules, such as where they go, which is very handy, and a really good playbook as well. Possibly my auto include in this team. Now remember, in a Butchers team you have to take a captain, but you also have to take the mascot, and down here we've got Princess, quite high attack for a mascot, and also if your opponent does kill him, it really buffs the team, and works very well in conjunction with someone who I've not fielded so far. Normally I field Brisket, who's a bit of a striker. I'm going to try and use Boiler, who I'm trying to get painted up for the weekend. Not completely finished, although hopefully enough for a battle report. Boiler, again, he's got some really nice things in there, such as he can ignore armor, and he can also create the bleed condition, which means that if it's not cleared by the opponent, that they're going to get 3 damage at the end of the turn, as well as being able to stack quite nicely with other rules that Ox and of course the dog also give. Then over here, another one which I've got to get completely finished for the weekend. Absolutely lovely model. It's the Goalkeeper. It's Tenderizer. This guy, don't need to put a bunch of influence with him, but he makes it much harder for the enemy team to score, and he's a real good threat against enemy goal scorers. So this is our Butchers team. What we're going to do is we're going to show you the team that they're up against for our very first Abattoir Away Days right now. And these are the opponents for the first ever Abattoir Away Days. It is the Engineers team, not quite a fully pure Engineers team. We do have a member of the Union in there, which is effectively a mercenary team, which can allow you to include different skill sets, usually very competitive, dirty skill sets into your team. So if you want to talk us through your team, who is your team captain, Quinn Duggan?
Okay, so here we have Ballisted, the team captain, and as you can see there, he has a very big crossbow, and likes to shoot people with it.
Certainly does, and that shooting knocks people down at range, causes damage, and also gives a real good element of control to the...
And it does, and also he has a 4-inch aura about him, which means any ranged character plays that cause damage also generate momentum if they are successful.
Now, momentum is a really key ingredient in this game for anybody who's not followed Guild Ball before. It effectively allows you to do special plays and such throughout the game, really good sort of counter responses, heal players, pass and move, as well as give you an advantage when it comes to getting the next turn priority and initiative effectively. So next up, you've got your mascot down here. Who's your mascot?
Mainspring, and Mainspring is basically a little cockroach that likes to run around and blow up.
That's right, so I spent a lot of the last game trying to avoid this guy blowing up on me because he can cause a hell of a lot of damage, but also the advantage of this guy is he can come back, he can be healed.
Indeed he can.
So he can cause a right pain, very big nuisance. Over here on the left hand side we have got...
Salvo.
So this is
Salvo is basically a miniature version of Ballista. He, as you can see, he's got 2 wrist-mounted crossbows, trying to be like his father figure over there. And Salvo can basically knock people down and do 1 point of damage, or he can do 2 points damage and a 3-inch push directly away.
Fantastic, so a very useful tool. Now next up we're coming to the mercenary in this team. This is Rage. Now I really like Rage, the model is absolutely gorgeous, although unfortunately mine is armless. I don't include him in my team mainly because I've already got Boar, and they have a very kind of similar role, very similar threat, except because he's a bit of a maverick, he doesn't benefit from the plays of your home team, as it were.
Which is actually very useful in this team.
It's very useful in this team, because it means he's not getting knocked down and stuff and blown up by Mainspring and the like. Why do you bring Rage?
I bring Rage because first turn you can tool up Salvo, which basically means he does +1 damage to all his plays, so he can really put the hurt on in that first turn. Also, he's very good for clearing up what the engineers have started. And he dishes out bleed fairly well as well.
So he is the damage monster in this team, really, in a team which struggles to put out close combat damage, I would say. So then coming over onto this far side, we've got 2 players. Who's this one on the left?
The one on the left is Ratchet, and Ratchet is basically the creator of Mainspring. And as you can see on the little bandolier he likes grenades.
He likes grenades, so he likes to chuck things about. Again, he provides a bit of a threat range in your team, which is what the engineers are all about. Now remember, there is a bounty on this team at the moment because I think it's the one team which hasn't won a competitive tournament at Guild Ball so far. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of engineers at this coming Scaldic Shield at the weekend. So good luck to you there, buddy.
Thank you.
And next up, you've got your keeper.
Indeed I do. Compound, the big chemical giant. Now, Compound is very useful for denying kickers to get near the goal. He has the same thing as Tenderizer, Rush Keeper, so if anyone gets near his goal, he can run at them and basically beat them down.
Fantastic. And he's also got an ability where he can spend influence to make it tougher to score, or to effectively mean that you've got to use more influence, which is how you allocate effectively actions for these guys, to make it cost more for people to shoot and try and score a goal. So there we go, that's the engineers, and we're going to take you into the setup of the game, and we're going to get this match report on the road. So bearing in mind, because this is the first time that we've done a Guild Ball match report on this channel, there is going to be quite an element of explaining how to play the game as we go, the best that we can, just so that guys who've not been involved in Guild Ball before can get a little bit of an idea how to play. So this is the field of play that we're effectively going to be playing on, and there are different types of terrain that you get in Guild Ball. We've got some rough terrain over there, which effectively half your movement, is it?
It's -2 move.
So -2 to your movement, and we've got some speedy movement here, which I'm guessing
Background, which is +2 move.
+2 movement, and then we've also got some hardcover here. Hardcover offers a
basically an instruction. If you're within an inch of it, you get -1 dice to attack the person within an inch of it.
So there you go. So there are some benefits to that kind of terrain now. So to start the game, we have rolled to see which table side that we want. I rolled lower, so Quinn has forced me to this table side, and I had to deploy first. Now, all of your characters in your team generate a certain amount of influence, which is effectively the amount of markers where you can do things, so actions, as it were, action points. So as you can see, my mascot princess, she can generate 1, Tenderizer generates 1, the Captain Ox generates 4, Boiler generates 2, the big guy Boar only generates 1, and Shank does 2. Now also in this top right hand corner, it's how many influence that you can allocate to them, which is effectively the actions they can do, so moving, doing character plays, passing the ball, hitting, attacking, and the like. So, because you have nominated for me to kick the ball out, I have given the ball to my dog here, and we're going to come back when she goes up to kick it out and start the game. Very best of luck, Mr. Duggan. So I've given it to the mascot Princess to kick out. So the mascot has got a base move of 6 inches. It's going to move up to there and then can kick it 4 inches. Now 4 inches should just go just over the line there. I then have to roll 1 dice because you've got a kick of 1. So I need a 4 up to create a success here. Let's cock dice. And it's a 1, so it's not a success. So what that means is the ball can scatter in any direction. Is that correct?
Indeed.
Okay, so we're going to come back and we're going to do that in a second. Okay, so we roll 1 dice to see whether it's a successful kick, and it wasn't a successful kick. Now what this basically means is that I can't re-roll the result here. So I need to see which direction that ball's going to go. As you can see, we've got a little direction counter. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So which direction is it going to go? It's going to go in the 4 direction, so it's going to go in that direction, and it's going to go 5 inches. So it's a mighty 5 inches that way. We're going to put the ball there, and then we're going to be kicking off this game. So as you can see, with that unsuccessful kick, the ball has gone quite close to the engineer lines. So now, as Quinn has chosen to receive the ball, he's got to allocate his influence before the butchers do theirs, and then we'll be kicking off with the start of the game. So with Quinn receiving the ball, as you can see, his engineers have allocated influence like so. He's put 3 on
Ratchet.
He's put 4 on.
That's actually 5 on Ballista.
5 on Ballista. He's put 1 on
Rage.
And he's put 3 on
Salvo.
Salvo. So there you go, that's his game plan. And in response, I have put 3 onto Boiler, I've put 4 onto Shank, none on Tenderizer or Princess. I've got 3 over there on Ox, and I've got none on Boar. That is how our table is looking. Let's start this game. So at the start of the engineer's move, Compound has decided to activate, and Compound is of course the guy there who has got no influence. Now models can move for free, and Compound is effectively going to use his movement to stand completely still, which then hands the next turn over towards the butcher. So next up I'm going to be activating Princess here. Reasonably fast mascot, can move 6, already pre-measured this, just going to move 6 up to there and end its activation just within range of the wall. And we'll go back over to the engineers. So we're back onto the engineers, and we're coming in now with Rage over there. Now Rage is going to spend his 1 influence.
Indeed.
So we're going to take that away, and he is going to be tooling up Salvo.
Indeed.
Is that correct? Now remember, tooled up increases the amount of damage that you can do by 1. Rage then has a special rule called
Furious.
Furious, which basically means that he can do a charge for free. So he's going to charge past the ball there, and he's going to charge my mascot, Princess.
There we are.
And he's going to make sure he's an inch away. So that he can do his charge. So we're going to come back in when he undoubtedly does all of his strikes. So when a model charges in Guild Ball, that usually, well, that increases the amount of attack, which is effectively the number of attacks by 4. So Rage normally has attack 6, which means he gets 6 dice to attack. However, he now gets 10 for charging. And remember, melee ranges are very important in this, so he is an inch away, so he can do this. However, one of those dice is lost because Princess the dog is within an inch of cover. So you've got 9 dice. Now, Princess's defense is 4 and has 1 armor. So basically you need 4s, and then one of your successful results gets taken away. So needing 4s. So we take away the bad ones there. So you actually got a lot of hits there, you got 6, but then we minus 1 for the armor, which means you get 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little look at the playbook, and we'll decide what you're going to do to Princess. So with 5 successful hits against Princess, as you can see, every single character has got what is called a playbook on the back. And from this playbook, you can work out what you can do. So with 5 successful hits, you can go up to that point on Rage's playbook. However, you're going to choose to do 3 momentous damage, which gains you a momentum, which we'll come on to in a little while, but also does 3 damage to Princess, so we're going to have to mark that off now. You've also got a rule called Berserk, which means that when you successfully cause damage, you get to hit again 1 more time. So we're going to do that now, see if the dog survives. So with Rage having successfully created some damage, he also puts the bleed condition on Princess, which means if that is not cleared by the end of the turn, Princess is going to suffer 3 damage, which could be deadly. However, at this point, you do have some more attacks to make, so you are attack 6, but that's going to go down to 5 because of the wall, so you need 4s with the 1 armor. Let's see what you get.
But I'm going to spend the 1 point momentum I generated to bonus time.
So bonus time allows you to have 1 extra dice. You are going to have 6 attack here. So let's roll those dice now, needing 4 plus. And let's see what you get. And you managed to get 3 of those this time, minus 1 for the armor. So that's 2 hits, so we'll have a little look at Rage's playbook now. And as you can see on Rage's playbook, that will cause a momentous 2 damage, so we'll mark off that extra damage on poor little princess now. So now Ox, the Butcher's captain, is going to take the lead, and he's got a basic move of 5, which doesn't cost anything, which is going to take him just next to the wall here, which is going to be handy. And then he's going to spend 2 of his influence to do something called Butchery on Rage. Now what Butchery does is it means that friendly models are going to gain +1 damage to playbook damage results against the target enemy model, which could be really handy. So to successfully do Butchery, he needs to roll 2 dice, needing the 4s on Rage, and he successfully gets it. So Butchery has been done, and then he's going to spend his final influence here to also do something called Tough Skin, and he's going to put Tough Skin on Princess just to make Princess a little bit more survivable for the rest of this turn, which basically gives her 1 more armour. So that's the Butcher's move. It's back over to the Engineers. Back to the Engineers, and the captain of the Engineers is now going to move in response to the Butchers. So that's Ballista over here. Yep. Now Ballista is going to spend 2 to do Second Wind.
Indeed, on Mainspring.
And what does Second Wind do?
Second Wind basically means that at the end of the friendly model's activation, it gets to do another move up to its base movement.
Fantastic, so it makes it really, really fast.
Yeah.
And then with Ballista, you're going to...
sprint up.
Yep, brilliant.
So that will go on to Mainspring automatically.
And then you're going to sprint up, which is your
7 inches.
7 inches, which should take you to, these are 6 inches apart, aren't they?
Should take
so just
you to an inch away.
To an inch away there.
Which will be up to here.
Fantastic. And that costs
costs 1.
And that leaves you with 2 left.
To do Deadbolt on Ox.
So you're going to do Deadbolt on Ox. So Deadbolt is one of your crossbow shots. Now to do Deadbolt, it costs 2. Is that correct? So it costs 2. Now Ox here is 4s to hit. So 3s to hit. So the wall doesn't affect the character plays here. So you will just need a 3+ here. Armour doesn't affect this either. And you get the 6, which means that Deadbolt does go off. Now Deadbolt does what?
It does 3 damage and a 2-inch push directly away. Fantastic. And also inflicts the knockdown condition.
Fantastic.
And because of Ballista's momentous aura, I generate a point of momentum for that because I've done a point of damage or more with a character play.
So a really key factor there is that he's going to go up to 2 momentum before the Butchers get to go again. This is our board and it's the Butchers go. So we're going to come back in with Shank here. I'm a little bit worried with all of his range threat over there that Shank won't get to do what I want him to do. So remember, all this is pre-measured. Now I'm going to spend 1 influence here to do an ability called Where They Go, which means he can move 4 inches up that way. And then I'm going to actually spend 2 to do a charge. Now charging or going over what is effectively difficult terrain, you do have to charge in a straight line, but that does -2 movement. However, 6 inches will take him to there, and that leaves him with 1 left over as well to charge in charge in range, and we're going to come back in when we've worked out what he gets to hit. So Shank here is tack 6, but he is charging, so he's going to get an extra 4 dice, which takes him to tack 10, but he also has the dog, which is crowding out because he's within the melee range of Rage over there. Okay, so we've got 10 dice here. Now Rage is 4s to hit and has no armour, so let's see how many 4s we can get. So we take out all of the unsuccessful ones here, which is quite a lot actually, and we've got 4, so we'll have a little look at the playbook and see what you can do now. So with 4 successful hits there, you can see that Shank can do a momentous 3 damage to gain me 1 momentum, but of course with Butchery on there, plus being in the aura of Ox, that's going to take that to 5 momentous damage. I also get a 1-inch dodge, which I'm not going to use for the time being. And so with that, we're going to mark that down, and I'm going to go into my next attack. So Shank causing 5 damage. He's then going to spend his final point of influence there. He's going to attack again, so this time he's got 7 dice, again needing the 4+. And that's terrible rolling. Yes. So we only get 2 hits, and let's have a little look at his card. So we're going to do a momentous 4 damage, and we get the 1-inch dodge as well. So it says 2 there, but of course we're getting a +2 because of Butchery, and also because of Ox's legendary play. So that's 4 damage, which means that he is now down to 8.
He is down to 8, yes.
He's down to 8. And with that, that is going to be it. I'm up to 2 there, and I'm going to leave that on there, and then we're going to go into the Engineers next turn. So now it's Salvo's turn to come and play, and Salvo's going to move base move 6 inches, which we pre-measured, which takes him to there. And he's going to be spending 1 of his 3, because it costs 1, to do something called Floor Bolt. And he is going to shoot at Shank, who has got its 4s to hit. Okay.
I'm also going to spend my character trait called Pumped
Pumped.
Which basically means I get a free bonus time, which is an extra dice.
An extra dice there. So you're going to get 2 dice here.
Yep.
Is that correct? So 2 dice needing 4 pluses. And you get 1, which means that Shank's going to be knocked down, and it would normally be 1 damage, but it's going to become 2 damage because, of course, remember, Salvo was tooled up. So we're going to mark that down now. So as you can see, Shank has been knocked down, has taken 2 damage, but also remember that Salvo's shot there does generate a point of momentum because you're in range of your captain, and that's one of the captain's special rules there. So you're now going to spend another influence.
I get my 1-inch dodge because of swift strikes, because I've done a point of damage.
You certainly do. So you get to move an inch.
Which is going to be...
Just to that, if you're going this way.
Go to there, stay within ballista.
So staying within ballista, and then you're going to be shooting at...
Ox.
So you're now going to shoot at Ox. Okay, so you get the 1 dice this time, and you will need 3s.
And I am going to be doing kick bolt, which is 3-inch push and 2 damage.
Okay, and that costs 1 as well, yep.
Yep.
Yep, so you need 1 dice for this, is that right?
I did. I'll need 2s to hit you though, because you are knocked down.
Okay, so 2s to hit me, and you roll the 1, of course. And are you going to try it again with your last one?
Yes.
So trying it again, so really gunning for Ox here. So again, rolling another 1 would be fabulous. Oh, and you get the opposite, you get the 6. So that means that Ox is now going to have an extra 1 damage, 2 damage because it's tooled up.
2, but then 3.
2 because, yeah, so this is a different one that would normally cause 2, but because it's tooled up, it causes 3. So we're going to mark that down for Ox now, and that's the end of Engineer's Salvo's actions. So we're going to go on for the rest of the butchers.
1-inch dodge.
And you got your 1-inch dodge as well. So next up we're going to come in here with Boar. Now as you can see, Boar doesn't have any influence, but he does get to do a 3 charge each turn, which means that he can move 6 inches. We've already pre-measured this. He does have to do it in a straight line. So he's going to declare that he's charging Salvo, and he's going to move up to there, at which point his movement is going to stop, and the movement goes back over towards the Engineers. So coming in because Ratchet is going to be moving. Now Ratchet's going to activate his heroic plate, which costs 1 of Quinn's momentum there. And he's actually going to spend 1 to run up. We've already pre-measured this. So he's running up over here. Now his heroic play is called Overclocked.
Yep.
And that's going to allow Mainspring to do a couple of things in a second. But let's start off with Ratchet doing his move. So Ratchet is going to move up.
So he moves 5 inches to here.
He snaps the ball to him.
Yep.
He will be with an inch, and then it was 2 inches to there.
2 inches to here.
And he gets the ball there.
That costs 1.
And he's got 2 left here, and he's going to spend those 2, is that correct?
Yep.
To do something called
Blast Earth.
Blast Earth. So that costs 2, and who's he targeting for this?
It's an AoE template, so I target a spot on the ground. So I'm going to target here.
So you're going to target that spot there. Okay, and you have to roll to see if you hit both, is that correct?
Yep. So I roll individually.
So on the dog here, you will need 4s with 2 dice. Does it go off?
It does.
It certainly does. So that creates how much damage?
It does 2 damage.
2 damage and knockdown, is it?
No.
No, so just 2 damage.
And I also generate a point of momentum because it's a point of damage within.
So the momentum goes back up to 4. So with that, we're then going to go to Shark. Do you hit Shark? You've got 2 dice, needed 4 plus.
3s because I'm knocked down. Which
and
I
you do, and you get it. So again, you're going to be doing, is it 2 damage?
2 damage, yep.
2 damage, and that will be it for him.
Indeed it will.
And that's correct. So we'll mark down that damage now, and then we'll go and see what Mainspring is going to go and do. So now we're coming in for Boiler. Now Boiler is just going to move up his base move here. He might as well. And he's just going to spend 2 to do Swift Stance on each of these guys here. Now I know that that's not going to affect anything there, but it is a way of spending his influence, I suppose. Swift Stance gives +1 defense, but what he is going to do, he's going to spend 2 of his the 2 momentum here, so you can spend 2 to heal someone else. I'm going to spend that to heal the dog, because otherwise the dog is going to die. So my momentum counter goes down to 0, which isn't good for the rest of the, well, for next turn really, but really you don't want your mascot to die right at the end, so I'm going to take that up, and that takes it back up to 7. Now I do have to consider that the blast is going to do 3 damage, is that right?
And burning and bleeds, that's going to be another 4 on top.
Oh, so he's going to die anyway, so I'm going to, so with that I'm not going to...
The dog will die.
The dog is going to die, so I'm not going to use the momentum there. I'll put the damage back, and we'll end the activation there, and we're about to see a big explosion with Mainspring. So we're going to see some robot goodness now. So mainspring has got a huge amount of movement now because of second wind and overclocked. Is that correct?
Indeed.
So you're going to move sort of 8 inches to here, and you're going to complete your movement by the wall here, which puts you in 3-inch range of 1, 2, 3, and 4 guys there. You're then going to choose to explode.
Yep. Well, I don't get to choose, really.
Yeah, so you explode, and that explosion is going to cause a lot of damage. So 3 damage on each of these guys. Doesn't do anything else, doesn't knock them down or anything?
It gives them burning.
But it does give them burning. Burning, remember, is a condition that is terrible for movement going forwards. So yeah, that's not going to be good. However, you are taken out. Now, I don't gain any momentum for you being taken out because I've not done it myself. But you do remove your model from play, and we are going to put burning tokens on Ox, Boiler, Shank, and I do believe that the dog
is going to die straight away.
The dog is going to die straight away, so we're going to take him off the board. So because of Princess's Love Creature, I immediately go up to 4 momentum, which is going to give me a fighting chance going into the next turn, because really I do kind of want a little bit of priority here. Which would be pretty good. Okay, so I'm now going to come in. I've already pre-measured this, so I also get +2 movement, and I'm going to move Tenderizer 3 inches away from Boiler. And he's going to go 6 inches up to there, ready for the next turn. So there we go. That is how the game is looking. It's currently 2 each because both of us have taken a character out. I didn't really take your character out. You took him out yourself and committed suicide with him, but he does get to come back. Now the thing with mascots is that mascots don't get to come back in the game, unlike other models who can recover a little bit of health to come on, depending on how long you leave them off the pitch. So there we go. We're both drawn on 4 momentum each there, and I'm going to save it because I really do want to win this next one, really. So with that, we're going to roll for turn 2 initiative. So let's see what we get. You get a 2, which is a 4. And I get a 2, which is a 4, and it went to you. Oh, do we have to roll again? It's not like who gets it last time. Okay, so this is where you roll a 1. Oh. This is where I roll more than that, and I get the 3, which means that I'm going to get to go first. So before we go on to the butcher's turn, we do have to look at the conditions. So because we've got the burning on there, that is going to cause 1 damage to Ox, to Boiler, and also to Shank over there. We're going to mark that down on the cards, and then we're going to allocate the influence. So here's our Guild Ball pitch as we're about to go into what is only turn 2, and this is how we've allocated the influence. So you can see that I've actually put 2 on Tenderizer over there. I've got only 1 on Boiler. I've got 3 on Ox, 3 on Shank, and I've got 1 on Boar over there. And in the meantime, you've put 4, is it there? 4 on Ratchet, 4 on Ballista, 1 on Rage, 3 on Salvo. So that is how we are looking on the board. So I'm going to go into turn 1 Butchers. So I'm going to need some momentum. I'm going to need some momentum to try and get these guys' conditions off and get them standing up and the like. So with that, I've made sure that Boar, my big heavy man, has charged in. Now Shank's on the floor, so he's not going to be helping anyway, crowding out here. But we do have Salvo over there, which means I'm going to get -1 dice. Now Boar has tack 8, so he gets an awful lot of dice, +4 for charging, -1 for being crowded out. And we are going to do our charge on Rage. So we need 4s. There's no armour. And we get quite a lot, actually. So we're going to have a little look at the playbook damage results now. I believe that's 7, which is enough for the most. So that means that Rage is now down to a mighty 4 health. And because I've successfully damaged him, I'm going to get to do some more now. I'm going to get to do my Berserk attack. Now I'm not within range of Ox, and none of these are as effective as they could be, but this is more about momentum generation. So I've got 7 dice now. So with those 7 dice, I'm going to need 4s. And that is really good. So, wow, I got 6 of those. So we're going to have a little look at the playbook now for Ball. And with 6, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7 would have been what we want there. So I'm going to do momentous 3 damage, which means that he is still alive. He is still alive. So there we go. So that takes me up to 2 momentum, not 3. Is that right?
Yep.
2 momentum. I'm going to come back when he decides what to do with his next point of influence. So Boar is now going to spend that influence to strike again, and again he's going for Rage here. So again, needing those 4s. And this time we get 3. So 3 should be enough to kill him there. Yep, we're going to do a momentous 2 damage. So we get another point of momentum. That takes us to 3. And that means that Boar is dead. Sorry, not Boar, Rage.
No, Boar's dead, Boar's dead.
That means Rage is dead, which then takes me to 4 momentum points. And because I've done damage, I am going to get to do another strike. So Boar's now going to get his free attack, and he's now going to do that attack against Salvo. So he's back up to his 8 dice. He's back to his 8 dice there. And being back to those 8 dice, what's Shank on health-wise? He should be okay. Okay, so back to his 8 dice. He's going to attack Salvo, needing
4s with 1 armour.
4s with 1 armour. And there we go. So we only get 3, minus 1 there. We've got 2. So we have a little look at his playbook there. And we're going to do a momentous 2 damage there. Momentous 2 damage. Which then takes us up to 5. And we're going to decide whether we're going to spend some of that now. So I decided to save that 5 momentum there, which could be a bad move. I don't know. Too much of a new player to know. But we're coming back in here because we've got Ratchet. Now Ratchet staying still.
He can do his move at any point during his activation, so we'll see if he moves.
Okay, so first of all he's going to spend 2 to do his long bomb, which is his big sort of range thing. He's going to put his template over those 2 there. And you have to roll to see what it does to them individually, is that right?
Yes, so we'll be going for Shank first.
Shank.
2 dice needing 3s.
2 dice needing 3s.
I do it.
And you do it, so that's going to cause 2 damage, is that right?
Yep, and because that has caused damage within Ballista's aura, I do generate a point of momentum.
So you're up to 1 point of momentum there. And on Boar, needing the 2s. Now does this knock down as well?
No.
It doesn't. So you're going to cause 2 damage to Boar there.
Yep.
And then you're going to do exactly the same again, are you?
Yep.
So you're doing exactly the same again. So on 2 gets spent. And on Shank, needing the 3s. The double 1s. So no damage on Shank, but on Boar, needing 2s, and you get that. So that's 4 damage.
That is the point of momentum as well.
So that takes you up to 2 points of momentum.
Then I will do my move, which I will do over to here.
So there you go. Ratchet's just going to do a little move over there with the ball, and we're going to mark down the damage for the butchers now. And just as a quickie, he's then going to release the ball, and he's going to release the ball so it goes just between them, so it snaps over. So he's not passing the ball to generate momentum or anything there. He's just going to snap it, and he can't pass the ball, of course, because for obvious reasons. So that's great. So with that, we're then going to go into the rest of the butchers go. So I'm coming in the butchers go, and I'm in fact going to activate Tenderizer here, who's going to spend 2 to charge 6 inches into base contact with the engineer captain Ballista there. So he is normally tack 6. He's going to make sure that he's out of range of his melee as he charges him. And we're going to get the 10 dice. Now you are 3s to hit, is that right?
Indeed, but I am going to elect counter-attack with my point of momentum.
So you're going to use a point of momentum to elect a counter-attack. So we've got 10 dice here. We need 3s and 1 armour, is that right? 3s, 1 armour?
Yep. Okay,
so let's see what we get. And wow, we get absolutely... Wow, so we got 9? That's absolutely brilliant. So we're going to work out what 9 does now. So there we go, it's actually 8 that we've got there. And now on his playbook, that allows us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can do a momentous 3 damage, and a knockdown. And then that wraps round as well, so 1, 2, 3. So we get another point of momentum. And we get to do a 1-inch push as well. So we're going to do...
How many damage all in all?
So all in all, that's going to be 5 damage, a knockdown, and a 1-inch push.
That's going to go down to 3 damage because of my character trait here called Tough Hide, which means I take -1 damage.
-1 damage, brilliant. So that goes down from 5 down to 3. Down to 3?
Yeah, because it's 2 separate results.
Gets 2 and 1. So you still get 3 damage. Why have you only marked off 2? There we go. Cheating scumbag.
Casual cheating.
So there we go. So he is knocked down now, and that takes me up to 7 momentum. So having knocked down the engineer captain, and I've actually pushed him a little bit closer towards the rest of my butchers there, that means that the ball is going to scatter. It also means he's not going to get his counter-attack because he's knocked down on the floor. So you point which number towards the goal?
The 1 towards the active player's goal.
And we're going to see which direction the ball scatters. And it's going to go in the 1, so back towards me, and it's going to go 5 inches. So we're going to measure that 5 inches now. So the ball scattering 5 inches this way, it would go over the player's base, but it's just going to stop short. I'm going to choose for it not to snap to my boiler there. Okay, and I've also just spent 2 momentum that he's managed to gain to heal Shank. So we're going to restore 4 points of health for Shank, and we're going to go into the engineer's turn. So far a very good turn it seems for the butchers, but we shall see. So next up, Quinn has decided to activate Salvo over there, and he's going to spend 1 to try and knock down Boar. So you get 1 dice, do you, or is it 2? 2 because of your...
It's 1 dice, but I am going to choose to pump it.
So you're choosing to pump it, which means you get an extra bonus time. So double 1s here, please, Quinn.
No.
You do get it, which means that Boar is going to be knocked down.
And I generate a point of momentum because of Ballista.
Because of Ballista. So Boar is going to be knocked down, and he also receives...
1 point of damage.
1 point of damage, so we're going to mark that down now. So Salvo's now used that to do a 1-inch dodge, as you can see there, and is now going to be taking a shot at Tenderizer. So Tenderizer is only 3s to hit, so you get 1 dice, because you can't pump it this time. So 1 dice, needing 3s, but rolling a 1 or a 2, please. And you get a 5, so it's fine. So Tenderizer is going to be knocked down.
I also generate point momentum, and that'll be 1 more damage.
So 1 more damage, and also the knockdown condition, so we'll put down the token for that now. So again, Salvo has dodged away and is now going to move 4 inches to here, and an additional 2 inches, which takes him 1 inch from the ball here, and the ball will snap 2, so it'll be there.
Yep.
And we'll snap 2, and then he's got a final shot, which he's going to take up Boiler, and Boiler is 4s to hit. Okay, so you got 1 dice, needing 4s. That's where you roll the 1. Oh, it's an aggressive dice, but you get the 6, and that means Boiler's going to be knocked down and takes 1 damage. And you generate a point of momentum because you're within range of Ballista. So there we go, that's how it's looking after Salvo's move. We'll put down the irrelevant tokens, we're going to come back with Butchers.
And then the 1-inch dodge again.
And a 1-inch dodge again. So now it's time for the Butcher's captain to stand himself back up. We're going to use a point of momentum to do that. So he can stand back up for free, remove his conditions. We're just going to take those away. And then he's going to spend 2. He's going to spend that 2 to charge in against the engineer captain on the floor, and he's going to pop up his legendary play. Now his legendary play means that there's going to be extra damage, and also -1 armor, I believe, -1 armor, and he still has 1 there where he can do some hits. So we're going to come back and work out what else to do. So bearing in mind that the engineer captain, what's his name, Ballista, is 1 inch from the cover, we're actually going to spend 2 momentum there as well to stand Tenderizer up, and we're going to do that so that we're getting the extra dice. I've not done that with Shank because of course you might just knock me back down if I don't manage to kill you here. Okay, so I have charged, so we're going to work out how many dice and stuff that we need now. So because Ballista's on the floor and because of the legendary play, I need 2s here, so I don't want to see any 1s. And wow, there is only 1 there, so we're going to work out what kind of stuff we can do now. So as you can see, that's going to be 11. So if we have a little bit of a look at Ox's playbook, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the 3 damage. Now that would become 5, but that's going to go back down to 4 because of your
tough hide.
And then we wrap round to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and because of the legendary play that goes up to 4, but back down to 3 because of tough hide. So a total of 2 extra momentum gained, and of course we have caused 7 damage there. So now Ox is going to spend that 1 there. And he's going to hit you again. So we've got 7 dice for hitting. We would get 1 for crowding out, but then we've also got the the terrain, which of course is going to be -1 dice. But I'm going to bonus time it, so I'm going to take that down to 3, wherever that is there. So I get that extra dice there, and again we need 2, so we don't see any 1s here. And just the 1. So that's going to be 7. And I believe that 7 is going to take us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to do 3 damage, which becomes 5 and goes back down to 1, and I gain a momentum for that. So we go to 4 momentum, and we take off another 4 damage, and that's going to be the end of Ox's play. Okay, so it's the turn of the engineer captain now, and he's going to sacrifice his movement to stand up, so we remove the knockdown token, and he's also going to spend 1 of Quinn's 4 momentum points to heal himself. So as you can see, he's up to 3 there. And he's then going to, so what's he up to now health-wise? He did have 4 left, so he's got 8 left, is that right? 8 health?
Yep.
So 8 health at the moment.
Then I'm going to do a deadbolt on Ox.
So deadbolt on Ox, so needing 2 dice, needing 3s.
Yep.
Is it? There's nothing for that, is there?
No. So that is it. So I generate a point of momentum because of my own aura.
Yep.
That's up to 4.
Yep, and you knock him down, do you?
I knock you down and I do 3 damage. I would normally do a 3-inch push, but you'll automatically hit the train and it'll stop there.
Brilliant. Okay, so we're going to mark that down now. So as you can see, Ox is now knocked down and he's taken 3 damage. So you're now going to declare a flurry, is that correct? Yep. So that costs 2.
And it's going to be targeting Ox.
So targeting Ox. So again, needing 3s.
2s
now because I'm on the floor.
I do it.
And you just about get it.
Another point of momentum.
So that takes you up to 5 now, so looking pretty strong now. So it takes you up to 5, and what damage does that do?
That'll do 2 damage to Ox and 2 damage to everyone within 2 of him. So that won't reach Salvo. It will reach Tenderizer, and it will reach Shank, and it will not reach Boiler, sadly. Will reach me as well, but because of my tough hide, I only take 1 damage.
So that takes you back down to 7 health.
Yep.
So we'll pass that to you, and we'll start marking down the damage now, and that will take you to the end of the activation. So we're coming in now because it's my turn, and Shank's just going to sacrifice his movement. I've decided not to use momentum to do anything now, but what I am going to do is I'm going to use momentum to bonus time. So that's going to go down to 3, and I'm going to spend his first one to hit the ballista guy. Okay, so we need 3s here and no armor because of Ox's legendary play. And so we get 4 hits. So 4 from Shank. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a 3 damage, which is 5 damage, which goes down to 4. So we've done 4 damage, and we gain a point of momentum for that, which takes us up to 4, and takes you down to 3, I believe.
Yeah.
And we also get a 1-inch dodge for that, which we'll do now. So now he's done his 1-inch dodge to there, so just staying out of Ballista's range. He's going to spend another one to do exactly the same again, and he's going to use a point of momentum to bonus time it again. So again, we need 3s and no armor, and hopefully this should kill him. So we get 4, is it?
3. That was all.
3 hit. Is that not there? So we get 3 there. So 1, 2, 3. So that's 2 damage, which would become 4 damage, which becomes 3, and it's going to take you out. So I gain a point of momentum for, of course, hitting you, and then another one for killing you. So Ballista is going to be taken out, and that's going to take me to 6. So 6-2 at the moment, and I'm going to carry on with Shank now. And Shank's then going to spend his final one to, well, first of all, he's got his 1-inch dodge for causing 2 damage, and then he's going to where'd they go and just make sure he's 2 inches there. So he's not engaged, but he is engaging Ratchet, I believe. He's also then going to spend 2 momentum, so I'm going to go down to 3 to heal Ox, and we'll come back with the rest of movement. And then we've got the final move here for the engineers, which is going to be a 5-inch move with compound, just moving up to there, within 2 inches, I believe.
Yep.
Or staying outside. Within 2 inches, just to engage there with Shank. And we're going to come back with Boiler, who is the final butcher to move. So we're coming in here because it is now Boiler, and Boiler is going to sacrifice his move just to stand himself up. And he is engaged at the moment, and then he's going to spend 1 to strike at Salvo. And
I am going to spend 1 of my momentum to counterattack.
Fantastic. So that means we've got 6 dice here, and we will need 4s, but no armour, of course, because of Ox's legendary play. So needing 4s, we want a good result here. And we get 50-50. So we've got 3 hits there, and 3 hits does allow us a push dodge there. So we're going to work out whether we're going to tackle, create damage, or do the push dodge now. So what we're going to do here is we are actually going to do the 2 damage momentous, which becomes 4 damage because of Ox's legendary play. Now you do get to counter attack. I've just checked your card and thought it's not really worth it. I'm guessing you did that because you thought I was going to tackle you. So you do get to roll back now. So you attack 4, it becomes 3 because of the crowding out. And you will need 4s, and I'm 1 armour as well. So you get 1 hit, and 1 hit will...
2 hits.
1 armour.
Yep.
Yep, so 1 hit will allow you to do 1 damage or a 1-inch dodge.
We'll do the 1 damage.
So you're going to do the 1 damage there to Boiler. And that's it. That's it for this turn. So we're both neutral here on 4 apiece. I guess that means that we now roll to see who is going to get turn 3. And we will have to make this the last turn, unfortunately, on our first showcase game because I'm getting phone calls from my wife, Jen. So here we go. Good luck, Quinn. I don't really mean that. Let's go.
Oh.
So here we go, what'd you get? It's fantastic. And I get a 6. So it's going to go to the butchers at this key time. So I will allocate momentum. We choose who we're going to bring on, and we're going to do also the conditions and stuff as well. Here we go, these are the players' positions. So you can see that I put 2 on boiler, 2 on ox there, 4 on tenderizer, which might seem a bit of a surprise to some. I've got 1 there on boar, and also only 1 on shank over there. In the meantime, you have brought rage and also ballista back to the table, so you've got the influence. And of course, we're going to go into that turn 1 for butchers. So we're actually going to start things off with tenderizer here. Tenderizer is going to spend 1. And he's going to spend 1 to hit Salvo down here. So he's tap 5, and he gets 1 also for the crowding out there of boiler. So you are forced to hit.
Yep. With 1 armor.
Forced to hit with 1 armor. So let's see how we do. And we get. Oh, we only get 1 there. So we only get 1, which is going to be 1 damage, which becomes 2 damage because of ox. And we gain a point of momentum for that. So we're already up to the 1 momentum. And we're going to do exactly the same again, except this time we're going to spend that momentum to bonus time it, get extra. So let's spend that influence. And again, needing 4s. And that's a lot better. Okay, so we've got 5 there, but then we've got -1. So we've got 4. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is going to be 3, which becomes 4 down. Well, how much have you got left?
2.
So you've got 2 left. So that's going to become 4 damage. So that gives you 2 left. We're going to spend another. And that gains as a momentum. We're going to use that momentum again to bonus time. So we've got the 7 dice with the crowding out there. Again, 4s. So we get that many, and then -1 armor, so that's 3. And that's going to be 2 damage, which becomes 3, which is going to kill you. So it gains me a momentum and an extra momentum. It also gives me a 1-inch push, but that's not going to matter. So the ball is going to scatter, and we're going to do that now. So here we go. So where's the ball going to scatter? It's going to scatter to 6. So wherever 6 is, it's down that direction, and it's going to scatter a mighty 1 inch in that direction. So it's just going to move it to there, and I'm not going to have that ball snap to boiler. And with that final 1, I'm going to spend that 1, and I'm going to hit against Ratchet. So Ratchet does have the crowding out for Shank over there. Now what's it to hit Ratchet?
It is 3s with 1 armor.
So 3s with 1 armor. I currently have 2 points of momentum, which I'm going to save. So we've got, am I going to save it? So I've got 6 dice, do I make it 7? I think I am. I'm going to bonus time that, so I've got 7 dice. I've got 3s here, 1 armor. And so that is, wow. So it's going to be 5 hits, but then -1 because of the armor. So that gives us 4. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it could be 3 and 4 damage. What's he down to health-wise?
He is on full health at 17.
Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to choose to knock him down. So we're going to knock down Ratchet.
Boo! You've got all my tokens.
I've got all of your tokens. And that's going to end everything there. So a pretty good start, I would say, for Mr. Tenderizer. So Quinn has decided to activate Rage, and Rage is going to do his free charge into Shank, which just takes him 1 inch away there. Now there is crowding out because of compound. So you're normally tack 7, is it?
Tack 6.
It's a tack 6, but you get +1 dice there because of the crowding out. So you've got 7 dice, needing 4s.
And then 4 for charging as well.
Oh yeah, 4 for charging as well. So you've got 11 dice here, needing 4s. If you've got enough dice. There we go. Cool, we're stealing Element Games dice. Let's have a little look. Oh wow, so
good.
Needing 4s, it's about right. So you've got 5 hits. 5 hits. So what can Rage do on 5 hits?
He can do a lot of things, such as a momentous 3 damage.
So you can do momentous 3 damage. You're going to get 1 momentum for that. And I'm going to mark off the damage now before you get your free hit. So you can tell it's getting a little bit late. I completely forgot to counter attack. So I'm just going to spend a point of momentum to do that counter attack now. So yeah, you're going to do your free attack. We're not going to do backsies on this. So you've got your 7 dice.
I'm going to spend the 1 momentum I gained to bonus time.
Bonus time, so let's see what you get. Needing 4s, and you get 3 this time.
That is going to be a knockdown.
So you're going to knock down, wow, for 3. So you can see the mistake that I made there. Obviously I should have done the thing at first, but I completely forgot. So I am knocked down now.
You almost got all the conditions on you, bar 1.
Brilliant. So I am knocked down, but no extra damage there. So now you're going to spend your 1 to do your hits, and you'll now need 3s.
All hits.
So you get all hits.
So that is going to be 4 and a concussion, so that's -1 influence.
So -1 influence, so his influence is going to go away.
And then a momentous 1 on top of that.
A momentous 1 on top.
Yep.
A momentous...
Wrap round. 7 dice.
Oh, right, okay, so 5 damage. So we're going to mark off the 5 damage now. We'll do that in a second. So you've got your final attack for being berserk.
Yes, I do.
With how many dice? I'm going to do it in a second. So just focus on doing it now.
We will bonus time.
So you're going to bonus time. And
3 misses.
so you got 5 there.
That is going to be momentous 3.
Momentous 3, which I believe should be just enough to take him out.
Yay!
So you're going to take him out now.
Yep.
So you're going to gain 2 in total for that. So as you can see...
And I gain a point of momentum.
Yeah, so you're going to get the points of momentum for that. So Shank is now going to be taken out. You can see the importance of remembering to do your counter-attacks and stuff. And we're going to carry on with the rest of my movement. So currently score is 6-4, is it?
Yep.
Or is it more than that?
6-4.
So it's 6-4 at the moment. So now I'm going to activate Boar. Boar is going to do his free charge, which we're going to measure now.
You are knocked down.
Oh, I'm not down, aren't I? Sorry, so I'm going to spend that point of momentum, sorry. Spend that point of momentum so that I can stand up and do my free charge. And we're going to measure that out now. So Boar's coming in, doing his charge, his free charge, charging it against poor Mr. Ratchet on the floor. He's gone in a way that he's engaging with rage, but not with compound. So we will need 2s, but there is 1 armor here, so let's see how we do. Everything hits, and we take 1 away, and we're going to work out exactly what it's going to do now. And that's actually going to be a total of 9 damage, gaining 2 momentum, as it did give us the wrap round. So we got to the 4 there, and of course we're within Ox's aura, so that became 5, and then we wrapped around, and 3 became 4. So a huge amount there. So we're then going to get our free attack now, which we calculate up the dice, so that's 8 and then plus 1. So remember, we did get 2 points of momentum there, and again needing 2s, 1 armor. So we've got 2 1s there, and then we've also got to take away the 1 armor, so that's going to be 6 hits, and 6 hits should be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, okay, which is going to be 3 damage, which becomes 4. So it's 4 damage. Is that 4 or 3 that you put down there?
4.
4. Good stuff. So we're going to gain that point of momentum. We're then going to choose, see you later, Mr. Giblin. We're then going to choose to do our free strike and hit him again.
The channel is abandoning you for though.
I'm not abandoning anybody.
Crazy.
So we've got that one there and that there. And we need 2s with 1 armor. And everything hits. Oh, sorry, that one didn't hit, and I've taken away the 1 armor. So we've got 7 that time. So that's going to be the 4 damage, which becomes 5, which is going to kill you.
Meh.
And I'm going to gain 2 momentum points for that, so I'm now up to 5. Okay, and that takes me to 8-4 now, is it?
8-4, yep.
And then I get my free strike. My free strike is going to go onto rage, and I'm going to bonus time that. So that gives me 4 there, and I'm going to get just the 8 normal dice here, plus 1 for the bonus time. Here we go, epic match off. So needing 4s, I believe. Need 4s, and
yep.
What's your icy sponge up to?
It is up to 6.
So a 6, okay. So hopefully we can do a reasonable amount of damage here. Okay, so remove those. Wow, that's pretty good. That is 7 again. So 7 is going to be 4 damage, which becomes 5 because I'm within Ox's aura. So wow, and I gain the momentum for that as well. So back up to 5. So rage is down to 1.
Yep.
So pretty good there for the butchers, and we're going to go into the rest of engineers. It's currently 8-4, did you say?
Yep.
Brilliant stuff. So here we go. Now we've got compound is going to be moving up, and we've already measured this. So he's going to walk around, just using his normal walk. He's staying out of Boar's melee range, and he's going to 2 inches away from Ox there. And then he's going to use his 1 to hit.
Yep.
Yep. So I'm on the floor, so you get -1 dice because of the wall. So what is your attack?
I will be on 4.
So you attack 5, yeah?
Yep.
So you got 4. However, you will need 2s because I'm not on the floor, but I do have 1 armor. Okay, so 2s, 1 armor. Okay, so you get 3 hits.
1 for armor. That's going to be 2 damage.
So you're going to do 2 damage with that, and we're going to mark that off the card now. Okay, so we're going to go into Boiler's move now, and Boiler is going to spend the first one of his influence here to put something called Mark Target on him. However, because of Gluttonous Mass, ignore the first character play, which is then going to take that off of you for the next part. I'm then going to use my next one to walk over. Now I do get minus 2 to the movement, which just puts me there, right up against the wall. And then I've not snapped the ball to me, I still have my condition. And I'm then going to use that 1 just to strike against your big dude there. So I've got 4 for attack, I believe, what is it, attack 5. And I don't get any pluses or anything.
Nope.
And you are 2s or 3s to hit?
And I am out of. So I am 3s with 1 armor.
So 3s with 1 armor. So we get 3 hits, but only 1 of those goes through. So we've got 3 there, and that is going to be momentous 2 damage, which becomes 3 damage. So we gain a point of momentum. That's going to take us up to 6. And you're going to get the bleed condition. Oh, there was no armor, sorry. But that's not going to affect things. I'm still going to do that. So you're now going to get the bleed condition, and you've taken that extra damage. And we've got that 6 momentum. So we're going to go into your next bit. So this is the last engineer to activate, and it is Ballista. So Ballista is going to move up.
He's going to sprint up, so that costs 1, and it will be 7 inches.
So he's going to go 7 inches there. Again, remember this has been pre-measured. So that's cost 1.
Then I am going to do 2, to do Flood Bolt on Boar.
So you will need 2s. You've got 2 dice to do it. This way you will double 1. No, you get it. So he is now going to be knocked to the ground. So we're going to put a knockdown token, and he takes 2 damage, is it?
3 damage.
3 damage, so we're going to mark that down in a second. And then with your next one,
3-inch push.
And a 3-inch push, which will be directly back, which will put you in contact with him.
Put you to there.
Will it not go all the way into contact? As far as you want?
Yeah.
Up to 3 inches.
And that generates me a point of momentum.
So you've got 1 point of momentum at the moment, so then you've got 2 more to spend.
Then I just need to check something.
So Quinn is...
So I'm going to spend another 2 to do Flurry on Ox.
You're spending another 2 to do Flurry on Ox. How many did you put on him?
6.
So you put 6. So you've done 1 to march up, 2 to do that last one, and you've got 2 for this one. So this is Flurry, needing...
2s, because you're knocked down.
Yep, 2s because I'm knocked down. And you get it. So that's going to do how many damage?
It's going to do 2 damage to everyone within 2 inches and 2 damage to yourself. So that's going to be 2 damage to everyone there.
Yep, and also to your guy as well. So we're going to mark down the 2 damage for that. And you've got 1 more left,
which I am going to do nothing with.
So you're going to do nothing with that, so that's going to be wasted.
I'm actually going to spend a point on myself to heal.
So you're going to heal Ballista a little bit there. Brilliant. So there we go. We're going to go into the Butcher's movement. So it's now Butcher's. I'm going to spend a point of momentum. So that's going to go down to 5 to stand up Ox. And from there, Ox is then just going to walk up just to there. You've got a 2-inch melee, haven't you? So walk up, so within that inch melee there, and I'm going to choose to hit you. Okay, so with that, I am tax 7. And I also get +1 for Boiler being in there, although Ox is knocked down, so that's not going to affect. So it's 3s, and with 1 armor, is that right?
Yep.
So 3s, 1 armor. So a terrible roll. So we get 2 there, and 2 on Ox's playbook. We're going to do 1 damage, which becomes 2, and we gain point of momentum, and that's going to go back up to 6. And then we're going to choose to hit you again, and we want to guarantee ourselves next turn.
I'm going to spend 1 to counter attack.
I'm going to spend 1 to counter attack. So 1 to counter attack, that makes sense, that's fine. We're going to spend 2 to stand thingy up, what's his name, Boar. We're going to spend 2, so that's going to go to 4, and we're going to hit you. So this time we're going to get extra dice. So we've got 7 dice here for your attack, and then we've also got the 2 crowding out dice as well. So we've spent that 1, So again, we need, do drop dice, we need 3s with 1 armour. So we get that many, and that one there, and that is going to be 5 hits. So with 5 hits with Ox, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that could be 2 with a 3, and it's a 2-inch push, which is great. So we're going to do a momentous 3 damage, so that's going to go up to 5, and we also get to push you back 2 inches, which will cancel your counter attack, and will push you back now. And there we go, that's a little bit of a look at the pitch at the end of turn 3. Now, I should be able to finish this game off now.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to allocate, we're going to do all the conditions. We've already done that for compound, he's taking the bleed. That's then removed. We'll also do the 1 damage to boiler for burning, and then we'll allocate influence and see who's coming back on the pitch. So here we go, both teams have allocated their influence, and this should end in 1 activation in our first ever Abattoir away days video on Hotgates Gaming. As you can see, I brought Shank back on there, you brought on your players there, but let's just crack on, because of course Boar is going to activate his free charge.
Boar versus Mini Boar.
Versus Mini Boar, he's going to stay out of your melee range, and we've got 12 dice here. Needing 4+, you're on 7 health at the moment.
Yep.
So needing 4 pluses. So we get that many. So that's going to be 6, and 6 is 1, 2, 3 is 3 damage, which becomes 4 damage, and we gain a point of momentum for that, which we'll then spend immediately to bonus time our next roll. So we get 8 dice plus the 1 here, needing the 4s. That's pretty awful. We said that this should be over. So that's 3 there. Which will be 2 damage, which becomes 3, which gains me a point of momentum.
Which will be a dead rage.
So with that, it is going to be 12-4. The engineers have been defeated. Boar has done the damage, and that was a great game, Quinn.
Indeed it was.
So 4 turns there. Thank you very much for a fantastic game. We hope that the guys really enjoyed that match. What we're going to do is we're going to go, I think, what's the correct way of saying it? Should we say to the dugout?
Yeah. To
the commentary box? And we're going to give you a little bit of a post-match breakdown of how we think that went. So welcome gamers to the post-match, I'm so used to saying post-battle bat rep breakdown, to the post-match discussion really, talking about our first ever Guild Ball Battle Report on Hotgates Gaming. How did you find it?
I found it tiresome.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, one, we're both relatively new players, and I'm sure that anybody who's really involved in Guild Ball can see that. We're doing our best to pick up the game, but of course we are going to make some mistakes. Possibly made a couple of rules mistakes, a couple of errors throughout it, but things such as filming do kind of compound that as well, and it also adds to the length of time. And when you're not the quickest of players anyway, like Quinn and myself, especially in that kind of matchup where being knocked down all the time and you're not really doing a lot of damage to me and it's hard for me to get up and hit you, then it can take a bit of time. But that was a quicker game than last time.
Yeah, definitely.
Good game. So in terms of tactics and how that panned out, obviously, what were your tactics? And it's pretty straightforward what you're going to do and pretty straightforward what I'm trying to do. Knock
you down, try and get in rage. If I had Gutter, I would have taken her instead of Compound, and then that would have been another damage dealer.
Yeah, I think Gutter in your... Well, I think Gutter in most lists. Gutter in my list would be great. Gutter in your list is great. I'm very much sort of keen not to include Union where I can. I did at my first Guild Ball tournament with Rage because I think he looks like a butcher, but the problem is that people were finding it quite easy to shut him down because it's a very similar threat to Boar. So for myself, I learned quite a lot from our last game in that taking on the engineers and things that knock you down a lot, to be able to beat them is very much about how you generate momentum and then how you spend it. So saving the momentum to get yourself stood up, to make sure that people stand up, not standing up the wrong people at the wrong time, because you're just going to get knocked down, knocked straight back down. So it's about knowing that, okay, stand them up on their own activations using the momentum point so that then they can go in and do a little bit of damage. A lot of takeouts there. Again, that's the second time I've ever played where I've not scored a goal.
And the other time was against me.
And the other time was against you. But I think it's because you're not really aiming to play football either.
No.
Which is interesting. Because you'd think with all of that ball control that you might sort of whiz around. Is there any particular reason why you don't try and play football in a Guild Ball game?
It's just because it's too much of a threat to leave you standing up. So I need to just keep spending my influence to just keep knocking you down instead of playing ball.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with the engineers, they all have pretty good kick stats.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And you've not even got your main striker in there. However, I can very much see, especially if you're playing the team how you're playing it, I can see how bringing certain damage-dealing Union players would massively make the way that you play Engineers a lot better. So bringing in the likes of Gutter, Decimate, even Fangtooth on the like now. Things that can come in and really deal damage. I don't think Compound did anything really for you in that game.
No.
And I can see why you would chuck Rage in to do the damage, but I just think the likes of Gutter's probably going to do a lot better job. So what we try to do there is try to film that in a little bit of a different style. I know that people will probably want, especially when a channel like this is sort of starting up and they've got an idea of what a battle report is like, will probably want the kind of side-on view, the dice tray, the very kind of polished finish. What I'm quite keen on is to try and retain my kind of style of doing battle reports, which are relatively, now with experience, quite easy to churn out. And also show off what, in my opinion, is the best thing about the game, which is the gorgeous models, and sort of seeing those up close, and also getting the excitement of the dice rolls and some pretty cool dice rolls in there. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed that. If you are a Guild Ball player, or even if you're not a Guild Ball player but you want to see more Guild Ball battle reports, then you guys know what to do. You want to check out the links in the video description below, which I'm pretty sure Quinn's doing, and you want to back this channel, because of course if you guys are backing the channel on Patreon, then of course if it's mainly Guild Ball players, I'm going to be encouraged to go and make more Guild Ball content. A difficult one to film.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talking in between to sort of say, right, okay, what are you going to do next? Which then does affect the kind of strategic and tactical level of the game, because you kind of know what each other are doing to a degree. Lots of pre-measuring and the like, and as such we probably missed a couple of things and probably messed up on a couple of things, but we hope you guys enjoyed it. So I think we're trying to come up with a tagline for this show. I hope you enjoyed the first, it could be the only Abattoir away days if people from Guild Ball don't back this, but I would like to do some more because I love the game. Would you like to film some more?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We needed a little bit of a tagline, so I hope, I mean we definitely had a good game.
Yeah, definitely.
So I hope you guys out there are having a good game, and we'll see you in the next Hotgate Gaming Battle Report.